YouTube clearly hates me. It did this to me yesterday. It says that I'm doing some copyright music or whatever. Copyright. What's it on about? Right. Again. There we go. Sorry, guys. YouTube just seems to hate me. It did it yesterday when I was talking about Irish immigrants. It says, I think it's because I said something about dying potentially. I bet now I'm going to get removed again. Yay. I've just got into my flow. I've just got into the flow. Dear. Standard. Now I've got to go all over again. Why is this one piece of hair decided it's not going to be curly? What that it's what? I don't. That's so weird. It's just that one piece. What are you doing, my friend? My hair seems to have got out of control in lockdown. Partly because I'm not doing anything to it other than washing it and leaving it. Right, I'll try again. So, really brief recap then. Last lesson, we looked at the arms race, USA and the USSR after the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945, got themselves into a race to get the best weapons, to get the most weapons, to get the most powerful weapons. What happened there, Sam? Apparently I did something that was against the YouTube rules or copyright. It's happened to me a few times. It's because you talk about something slightly controversial and they whip it off, even though it's for educational purposes. So you can't actually load any videos about a certain, I don't even want to say his name. This is really bad because it might get taken down. Like history teachers have had a real bad time with it. But you can't, that certain man in Germany with a mustache, you can't really talk about him online anymore because it's seen as sending hate, like preaching hate. But I'm not, obviously, I'm teaching you about the certain man with a mustache. Right, let's go. So we've got this development of all these arms race, of these arms, this weaponry, and it's oh, here we go, year 10. Go away, year 10. And it gets to a point where they've now got stockpiles, both the USA and the USSR, stockpiles of weapons, of nuclear weapons that can destroy the world several times over. And it was a case of who had more of what. So ICBMs, so the intercontinental ballistic missiles, the SLBMs, the submarine-based or the submarine-launched ballistic missiles, things like that. And then America is shocked by an event in 1957 that, quite frankly, is quite funny, really. Considering America have been the leading force in the arms race, and obviously one of the most famous companies in the world in terms of space is my beloved NASA, but they actually are behind. America are behind in the space race. And this all starts then from the, oh, here we go. I want to say it's the 1st of October, but I feel like that's the wrong day. Hey, Logren. 4th of October. Okay, there we go. Okay, you can go. Goodbye. Goodbye. You're going to be like that. So, 4th of October, 1957. The Russians. Well, Lachlan, I did get chopped off once, so don't worry. Oh, it's really laggy. Sorry. 4th of October 1957. The Americans are absolutely horrified. And I am talking horrified. When the Russians launched a satellite called Sputnik. Now, Sputnik, I love him. Looks like this. So he's a satellite, like a little metal ball with these prongs coming off him. I said of him like he's a person. It's a satellite, Miss Martin. Get a grip. And it was effectively a satellite. Now, Miss loves a piece of metal. Yeah, duh. Cold War space race. All it does is it just goes around the Earth, gathering information and data. America obviously felt like this was a tool to spy on them. And to be fair, it kind of was a little bit. But the fact that the Russians had managed to launch a piece of metal, someone's called themselves Stalin, they'd managed to launch this piece of metal with advanced scientific technology up into the atmosphere and into space and keep it there, was quite scary for the for the Americans. And it could orbit the Earth in 1.5 hours, and that meant that obviously, kind of roughly, I know my maths is not great. I know it's not great. But if it can do it in 1.5 hours, it can roughly do it about 12 or 13 times every single day. And America were like, whoa, 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 you're really spying on us. This is a military threat. So America sought to change that. They then decided that actually they needed to counter it. They needed to set up their own version of is Sputnik still active? I don't believe it is active, but I don't believe it's come back. If that helps. America then had to immediately launch into action, and this is then on, I believe it's the 8th of October. It's certainly October. I'm just going to go October. America launches the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA. 16 times a day. Thank you very much, Shan. Now, NASA was actually a second space agency for America. This is a little bit off topic, but I'm a geek. America did have the NACA, the National Aeronautics, the National Advisory Committee of Aeronautics, I believe. And it was trying to get that process of into space. But as soon as Sputnik launches, this is when they go into the real heavy stuff of NASA. And this is when NASA then starts to really come into prevalence. And I've just seen someone go in the comments, please notice me. Hello. And it got a significant amount of spending. And this was under the policy of Eisenhower. Now, this obviously could be misconstrued, but I do not want you to take it like that. Eisenhower increases the defense budget in America by 20%. Now, that is significant. If you think about America's what the richness of that country, if it's then going to increase by 20%, that is, we're talking billions of dollars. Now, this was under the policy of what Eisenhower called the more bang for your buck. Now, that again is not in any way to be misconstrued. I'm talking about the nuclear warheads. I'm talking about the rocket launches, and get more of these scientific and space developments for the dollar bill. So more bang for your buck. That makes sense. Money, money, money. Definitely, Lachlan, definitely. And They then launch not long after this, and it is potentially one of the funniest things in history. And it's just one of my favorite things. In direct response to Sputnik, America launched something called Sputnik. Now, I'm not misspelling it. I'm not swearing Sputnik. It basically means that when America launched their response to Sputnik, this satellite, they get all the media, they get literally worldwide, my Powerpuff sock, worldwide media gathered at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, I believe it is. It is this big event. People are around the world are watching. They get, make a real big deal out of it for this launching of the satellite. And the satellite starts to take off. It goes up a bit and goes and crashes, and is a complete disaster. And it then takes on the nickname of Sputnik because it just doesn't go anywhere. Brilliant. You don't need that for your exam, but I love telling that story because it's so fun. Oh, I just need to pull my other notes up. I'm a sado. I have to rein myself in, you see. I'm right close to the camera. I do apologise. Anyway. Yeah, 61 is where I need to get to. So between, sorry, that was really close and horrible. So between the years of 57 and 61, America are desperately trying to catch up with Russia and trying to outdo them, and they are behind. It is quite evident that America might be ahead in the arms race and doing really well on the nuclear front, but when it comes to the space front, they are second class. The Russian cosmonauts and scientists were fantastic, and that is then made quite apparent in 1961. Now, in 1961, a cosmonaut, so that is a Russian astronaut, they call them cosmonauts, called Yuri Gagarin, flies, goes into space, and is the first man in space, meaning that not only then have America been beaten out with a satellite, they've now been beaten out with the first man in space, which, you're right, Mom? Yeah. Which is quite, this is not good for America. They are absolutely fuming. And not long after that, they do then send their own man into space called Alan Shepard. Did you just say Titchmarsh? Yeah. Alan Titchmarsh did not go into space, as far as I'm aware. Why have I spelled that wrong? Hang on. Seems like America ripping off Russia. Yeah, they are. To be fair, it is the first time. No, I did spell his name right. So Alan Shepard is the first American in space. Alan Pardew, not Alan Pardew, Alan Shepard. This could go on all day, naming Allans. Alan. Do not start. My mum is outside the door going, Alan, 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 Steve. I didn't say Steve. You didn't say Steve, not yet, anyway. Alan. This is what I got to work with. I was close. I knew someone would be. That's why you're going to Qatar. That's why I'm going to Qatar, my mum says. Steve. Sorry. Anyway. So we've got this race then into space. After they then get the first men into space, it's the race for the moon. That's the next big thing. I've started something in the comments. I've started something. It's not Steve, it's Alan. Alan. Great. Um, the race then is for the moon, and America do get that first with Buzz Aldrin and Apollo 11 and Neil Armstrong. Now, believe what you will, I am not a conspiracy theorist as a history teacher. I don't believe I can be. And as a published NASA author, drop that one in there for you. As someone that is published by NASA and absolutely loves NASA, I genuinely do believe we did land on the moon, and I do believe that America landed on the moon. Now, that happens in 1969. So last year it was 50 years ago. And that is the only time America are in front in terms of the space race. And they then take on another kind of strand in exploration. And this is when you then get the age of like the spaceships, I suppose, the exploration space age. Okay, so you've got like the Endeavour, Columbia, Discovery, all of that. That's when that comes in after the mission to the moon. But until from 1961 to 69, the mission is getting to the moon. Now, that's all I really need to say about that, I think. Yeah, just double check your worksheet. So I've got, the first thing I want you to do is just watch a recap. I've put the link there. Then there is a timeline for you on your Word document. I just want you to tell me which country won the race to get to space. Russia. Which country won the race to put living creatures into space? Russia. Which country won the race to explore the moon? America. Which country won the race to put a human into space? Russia. So I don't know why I'm whispering Russia and not America. That's ridiculous. And there's some cartoons there if you want to have a go at analysing them. Okay, you can go. Goodbye. Thank you very much. Now, in terms of the space race, I could talk for England about it. I love it. It's fantastic. It's one of the best things ever. But it is only a small part of the course, frustratingly. In your textbook, the space race is that. However, I have seen questions that talk about the space race in much greater depths. So I don't get it, but there you go. The space race is not really any threat in terms of the Cold War, if we're looking at the consequences of that. It is just another way that the tension ramps up, the competition ramps up between the USA and the USSR, and it is a matter of pride. The space race is a matter of pride because there's technology involved, because there's all these different firsts, and it's more a matter of pride and showing off who can be who's more technologically advanced. So in terms of threat level and for the rest of the world, there really isn't one for the space race. It's definitely more a thing of pride. The last thing I wanted to share with you the last thing I wanted to share with you is I will link it into the team's posts for you, just as a bit of a joke, is if you've ever watched the episode of Friends with the Halloween party where Rachel is, Rachel's pregnant, she's got her nice dress on and Monica says, you should have dressed up, and she's like, I'm not going to be able to fit into this, I want to wear this. Monica's dressed as Catwoman, Phoebe's Superwoman, Joey comes as Chandler. Where did you get your NASA jumper? From NASA. I actually went to NASA and bought it from NASA. Joey's dressed as Chandler. Chandler's as the Velveteen Rabbit, but there's a pink bunny. And Ross turns up as a potato with a colander on his head with antennas up. They say, "Why have you come dressed as Duty?" Meaning Pooh, and he says, "I haven't. I'm dressed as a Spurd, and I have antennas, so I'm Sputnik." It's much funnier than that than I'm giving it credit for. I will attach it just as a little joke for you. So all I want you to do is recap the arms race. I'm waffling now for the sake of waffling because I just love this topic. If you ever want to look at animals in space, the most famous one is a dog called Laika. So she'd be quite good to research. However, if you do find, well, I mean, I find it sad. If you do find death sad, sorry, spoiler alert, Laika does die, but she is a scientific marvel. But Laika is one to look at. Anyway, I'm waffling. I could talk about this. Do you think we'll ever recover Sputnik? Potentially. I suppose if that's something Russia want to recover because it's Russia's property. I love that you've called yourself Joseph Stalin, by the way. Yeah, I'm waffling. If you need any help with the work, give me a shout. I will be on my laptop all day because I'm doing admin today and I have no tutor phone calls because your girl's done them. If you need anything, you know where I am. Of course, I will help you in any way that I can. I miss you loads. Oh, I was going to show you my new top. My new top, I will just pull it. It's a white t-shirt with the Disney castle on. Totally on brand. Totally on brand. If you can get that work to me today, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm happy to accept it by Monday. That's not a problem. Just send it to me as and when you can. Submit through Teams, potentially if you can, or email me. I don't mind. Otherwise, stay safe. Miss you loads. And I will see you next Wednesday for another live. Bye, lovely.